week 20 from last week on the indexes we kept rising, pretty bullish. This was last week's outbreak of this one. We didn't come back, we didn't retest the last highs, we just went straight up to the top of this 4-hour channel, daily channel. So this could be a sign that we can come more down, although we didn't touch the line pretty well, so some fake out up, yeah, would be cool, but not really much form to make from it now. This engulfing seems promising, so this can go away. From last week, breakout out of this flag, duplicated a few times. See where we end out. Nasdaq also went higher. This was a beautiful play on the 30-minute. You can see that we had this channel that got respected. 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, 4 touch, 5, 6, and then one spike down to trick everybody that we are going down under the 50% range of the bigger channel. Hourly close above the highs, and then the rest is just flag continuation up. And that was the rest of the week. Staying there, tricking the sellers. So we're gonna see what happens to that. Maybe we crash down, because these are all all-time highs. I mean, S&P Mini, same story as Nasdaq a little bit. We respected this channel up, then we had last fake out push, down tricking everybody, hourly close above the highs, the rest was continuation up. Yen basket, after last week that we touched the bottom of this duplication, we had one big candle coming out, ranging there for a little bit, literally ranging here, and then when we hit 5,019, we went up to the third duplication of that, making a top there. This was a nice play. The next push up didn't. It wicked above the closer of the last candles, but couldn't stay there, and that was also 6,085, which was the last bottom before the crash down, before the banks intervened. So we were above the levels that the banks pushed us, and now we go back, and that translates then back into Forex on the yen pairs. This staying down, almost back at the bottom from where we actually came from. This rising channel, it looks messy, but if you just look where the banks started to intervene, these levels here, and if you see which channel that is, so this was the bottom of this channel. We went up, all the fuckery around, we went down over it, corrected, and then we came here to this line where it all started again. And then from there we rose. So I think this can be pretty bullish if the yen just keeps dropping, and this can keep going higher to the second duplication and maybe following this ascending channel. That is the same for CAD yen. The bottom, let me just expand a little bit. The bottom of the channel before the flash came was this one that was rising here, and then we see 1 touch, 2 touch, second touch, wick above, close a little bit above, and now the second retest of this one. And when you zoom out on the 4-hour, you see that that is the bottom of a bigger channel where we are in. So yeah, I'm pretty bullish on these things. Australian dollar Japanese was also a beautiful play, looking on the 4-hour. Small down, this was the flash shit going on, and now we just kept rising. Had a little drop out of the ascending channel, which retested the line of that other channel, the top of the channel before we had the flash. So this can go back to the top, and then we see where we are at 104,946. Because then we are at the upper third level duplication of that, which is above the 50% of the higher channel. And then maybe we can go to the top of this channel here. Maybe we go back to these levels. Who knows? Swiss franc, Japanese yen, the hourly. A breakout here, this bearish move was the Swiss franc, because you see that coming back in USD shift here. Pound Swiss here. Yeah, this looks actually horrible. Dollar yen, that was the beautiful one. So I just duplicated all 2 times above, 2 times down, and see where we could get and find some matching lines to find some support or resistance. If I extend this, we broke out of this channel, closed under the 50% of the duplication, so that brought us back to the second duplication down, wicked away, push up, retested the up bottom and now the upper line of that channel, but then broke down to the second one and then hit the third. To the wick, and that was also 153,600. So if we closed above 145.54, sorry, that you could say was the bottom of the channel before we had the breakouts. So this is a little bit tricky because the yen is probably going to go down, but the dollar is also shit. So yeah, if we stay in this ascending channel, then we can say, okay, we're gonna hit duplications. So if I can duplicate and we stay under the 50% of that duplication with the wick away, that means we can be pretty bearish on this one. So maybe we hit the levels back of 151, which was retested already. So yeah, interesting to follow. Pound, Swiss pound, from last week we had the beginning of the touch of this duplication range here, duplication range here, retested it, and then we created the ascending channel and we just followed through hugely. But this was beautiful entries. The retest of this second duplication channel where we didn't hit above of these highs, respected it, creating a little bottom, breaking out, perfect retest, and then just respecting the bottom of that channel and then break out to the upside. So if I can duplicate it, we can see that there is not really a resistance, so we can probably go a little bit higher. Same for GJ. This was the move down from the yen pairs, and then after that we just kept rising. And if I would duplicate that one, you will see that we closed on or above the 50%, wicked away from it. So this can probably go to the top from before the flash came. Pound, Australian dollar, I had a trade here because I was seeing the bottom coming here on the 4 hour. We have this big channel. So we had one touch, then we had the second touch, and then we created this range. And everybody knows when you start ranging, it's accumulation. So the channel that we were in got broken out here. So if I extend that, we had here a little break, so I can also channel that. Channel fucking everything. Because you can see, respected, wicked away from it, and then here it respected the 50% again. So this is like the fuckery zone. This is where everybody thinks, oh, okay, fully bearish, but this is where the accumulation starts. And then after this move up, I thought we were not going to break this support here of 189,500, remember 500. But then we just touched the bottom of the range, calculated the stop, and from there we went up on the 30-minute to see them a little bigger. Ascending channel, not hitting the duplication, breaking the duplication again. So if you would copy paste that, put it there, you can see that it doesn't break it. So because we didn't break it, we stayed above the 50%. We have this 89,500 number that was aiming for, and then we rose from the range, broke out, retest, impulse up, and then almost hit the top of the duplication of that bigger channel. Clean trade. So that can go on. Euro USD. I had a sell here, very messy sell, because let's maybe go back a little bit in time. How much time do I still have? So I had a sell here. If you would reply price, then you would see my thinking. So breakout of this channel here, the duplication was somewhere around here, respected the 50%, went up, retested perfectly, and that was a move that I was waiting for, because here we were hovering, not really at the top. We were Tuesday going into Wednesday, and then the push up came, and then straight down. So I entered here on the wick, but then after that we closed back up, wicked away, nice closure up into the zone. So this is the fuckery zone again, so that's actually a better entry to go into. This was too early, so if you see here, the wick didn't test the top of that duplication channel, but stayed under the 50%. So here we also stayed under the 50%, but then had a closure up. So then you wait. What price does, it goes to the top of this duplication. This was already drawn out before. Then you match the duplication of this channel to that one, and you see what happens, where it touches. So then we created a top, went straight back into the channel, a little bit up, and that's what you wait for, the touch of that channel. It's a big stop, but I thought there would be a bigger move coming from here, but then I after saw that we respected the ascending bottom of that channel, so I closed that trade and then went on a buy, because we broke out, touched the first line of the duplication channel up, came back down, found the bottom on what was the top of this channel is now the bottom of this channel and the bottom of the ascending channel. So moved up, here at the touched the line again, and that's where I take profit because it was Friday. And that's where we are now. Can I move it away? Yeah. Voila. Euro cut. Yeah, this looks very, very messy, but just think in ascending channel here, ascending channel here, ascending channel here and here, and all these channels like this is duplication of the flags, which we pretty much respect. Buys were also here in place. Went to duplication channel down, came up, tested the top, tested the bottom 2 times, impulse up, stayed under the 50%, and then here created a bottom of 2 kinds of channels. That's where you get your impulse from. The mechanical one. After last week we touched here, had the flag, and then retested here the last recent swing point bottom, and then just stayed under that, came back to, stayed above the 50% of the initial channel, but then respected clearly the top here and went straight onwards up. So I think we can also go higher to these things. And the cut was a beautiful one too. Just ascending price, trending. That's what happened here. Impulse up, respected the channel, respected the duplication channel of the 50%, one spike down to trick the sellers, but to fill the gap of this candle here. And then you had duplication, duplication, and we respected the third one. Now, we talked about this one also. Oil and gold. Kept rising after last week, as I said, the channel here. That was the bottom that we created, and we kept rising from there. So 24.31 for gold. Silver, same story. Almost at $30 an ounce. Lovely.